Hey students, I am this time talking about summary of the poem Ode to a Nightingale written by John Keats. We know that this poem is world famous poem. It has so many good points to take into account. At the surface level, it looks to be the poem on the songs of Nightingale. Generally, we find that there are so many singing birds around the world, and the people are very much amused at the very sweet and melodious sounds and musics and songs of these singing birds. Here in India, cuckoo is a singing bird which generally in spring comes to our locality, where in the mango orchard we generally find cuckoo singing and making the beautiful sounds, and children are imitating those sounds as well. So it is just very much clear that the songs of these birds have been the source of pleasure for the common people. Here, the poet is not concerned with the pleasure of the songs which he receives when he listens to Ode to a Nightingale. Rather, the romantic poets, including John Keats, has been trying to find some hidden secrets which are about the philosophy of life through the songs of these singing birds. It is not a literal description that these poets are making on the odes of different birds. It is just a common man point of view that we are listening to the songs, and we are pleased because the nature around us has been the source of pleasure for us, including the singing bird. The most important thing that we should talk about is just the philosophy, is thus the thought which is just behind the song of the nightingale in this particular poem, and the song of other natural objects in general concern. So, romantic poets have been talking about some natural sources of pleasure, because these things are the sources of pleasures, and those things are going to manifest so many ideal things which otherwise we cannot understand. Here in this particular poem, Ode to a Nightingale, John Keats feels his heart painful, and his body gets tired. So, generally, we find that in the world we live, our heart feels painful and our body gets tired. We live against so many just riddles of life. We live against so many obstacles of life. We live here against so many systems and conventions which are very much torturous for the common people. The poet finds the political system going on that is not providing any genuine place to the common people. And the common people in that political system is living a very mean and cheap life. So a sensitive person like John Milton and his heart get painful and the body gets tired. So he writes, I have drunk of the poisonous hemlock plant. Why do you think that people are going to drink the poisonous hemlock plant? John Keats takes resort to the poisonous hemlock plant for certain reason. That he is a sensitive person, that he is a thoughtful person, that he is a person of observation, that he is a person who gets sorry seeing the very piteous situation of the common people. As he is a conscious person, so naturally he is very much worried about the piteous condition of the life of the people. And when he thinks of removing all the obstacles, he finds that it is very, very difficult for him to do and realize that kind of thing. So he is struggling against the convention which is rotten, which is out of date, but he finds that he cannot do that kind of thing. So he feels painful and his attempt is defeated against all the physical force that he applies, so his body gets tired. Naturally, there is a way to relieve of the tension, either of the mental nature or physical nature, being drunken of the poisonous hemlock plant. So he writes, I have fallen into the waters of Lethe, that is the river in the ancient Greek. Why does he say that he needs falling into the waters of Lethe? Because it is the river whose water makes one forget everything after being drunk. It is all mythological citation that the poet is making, but here one point is clear, as he is taking help of poisonous hemlock plant to forget his painful feeling. Likewise, he is going to fall into that water to drink, that he could forget everything that he does not like to see, that he thinks is very much against the human value. So it is better to be in the world of forgetfulness and oblivion than very actively and consciously being the part of the system. It is easier for the person to forget than to watch the thing which is inhuman, which is immoral, which is just creating problem in the life of the common people. The poet is not jealous of happy sound of summer song of nightingale. Why should he be jealous? Rather he welcomes, he gets pleased of the summer song of nightingale. Naturally, when we are in such a painful situation, this kind of beautiful sound of the nightingale can make one to be happy, to be into a very good and happy mood for the time being. If we cannot be happy forever, we can be happy for the little time, all due to the influence of the happy sound of Nightingale's song. So he writes, too happy to hear it sing so freely and beautifully. Why is poet so happy? Because poet also wants to sing a beautiful song that could make the common people happy and that could make common people live a very free life. So Nightingale is just doing that sort of thing, and it is above all the constraints, unlike the human beings. We know that human beings have lots of constraints to be within. So they cannot sing as happily and as freely and as beautifully as Nightingale is. So here, at least listening to that sound is giving a kind of sense of freedom and beauty to the natural world. In a realistic world, we find that we have a very troublesome just a time to face. We are just not trying to convert our soul into the Nightingale soul. So what happens? At least we should be happy to see a nightingale like a dryad, a mythical tree spirit, is our grown greenery and shadows. It is just a kind of comparison that we can see. And he has already cited so many instances from mythical world that we are mentioning time and again. So he wants to disappear and forget this world, which is not a true place for a sensitive and conscious person to live. He want to have vintage wine stored for years deep in the valley of the earth, of just the flowers. Why? It's still the same region. Whatever he is doing, either he is taking poisonous plant or he is taking the water of the mythical river, or he is listening to the song of nightingale, or he is going to take wine stored for years deep into the earth. It is just to transport him to warmer southern lands full of water from the mythical Hippocrene spring to grant poetic inspiration. Now, in that situation, when we are in the influence of poisonous plant, our poetic inspiration gets enhanced. Here, when he wants to have vintage wine, he is just trying to get the inspiration of poetic composition. That he wants to give vent to his personal feeling into the poetic composition. He knows that at least he can serve to society by writing the poem, which he has not been doing otherwise. So, generally, you find when we are trying to make the poem on imagination, we simply want to travel into almost impossible world, which is somewhere hidden in our unconscious mind. And when we are taking wine, it brings our unconscious mind into action. And we are going to take the source and inspiration of our poetic composition stored very much in our unconscious mind. So the poet tries to say that it is happening all because of all these regions. And we can do all these things for giving vent to his poetic experience. So he could get drunk, forget the world, and escape Nightingale away into the dark forest. Here, this is the same point where finally the poet has come to the end of the poem, that he was disappointed in the beginning and he is disappointed in the end. In the middle, we find that he has tried to find a different sources of pleasure that he could just get pleased. Rather, he is getting pleased for some time after listening to the song of Nightingale. But when Nightingale goes away into the dark forest, the poet falls into the same trap of sorrow and unhappiness. Now, once again, he finds that to live into this practical world becomes a burden for him. It is burden that he could not see this world as it is, very much functioning and as people are spending their life. So he was very much overwhelmed by the beauty and melody of the nightingale singing in summer, and just naturally he had just tried to find certain kind of poetic inspiration from wine, but these are not the things which have been living with the poet for long. So he wishes to disappear and forget, and Nightingale had never known this sort of suffering that the poet is passing through. Nightingale is rather free from all the worldly affairs which are creating a painful situation for the common person. And common person could not be singing just like Nightingale, as the common person is not free from the painful situation. So, whatever is the feeling of the poet, it just to be the nightingale and just to listen to the song of nightingale. But ultimately, he finds that that song does not stay forever. It is going away as nightingale itself is flying away into the dark forest. Dark forest simply means that it is the same dark world where people are living. Here, in this dark world, we can find momentary pleasure, and we should be not illusioned, into that momentary pleasure. So he gets disillusioned with all this reality, that till we are living in this dark world, which has been compared with dark forest, for the time being we can just be happy, but it is what the world is, it is what the life is, where we have to pass through all the time. you know we can find the romantic poet for the time being has been happy when he is just observing the natural world. And Robert Frost too has been very much, happy when he was just into the very beautiful natural surrounding, passing on his horse. But ultimately, he could not stay there for long. He is reminded of the fact that he is to move. And when he is moving, we find that it is the same world where from he has started his journey and he has come back to the same world to live in. So Nightingale is just a symbolic creature for the poet, that it will not be ever. It is just a tiny source of pleasure which momentarily comes and we may enjoy, but ultimately we find that we have to be into very much dark world to face all the harsh realities of life. So Nightingale is untouched of all the exhaustion, sickness, and worry of the world. It is above all these worldly affairs. So naturally, he is singing beautiful song. But when we are in sickness and worry of the world, and when people groan in pain, disease, and old age, and when these are inevitable, how can you just be singing the same song, the same beautiful song as Nightingale is? So, youth fades and dies. It is our final destiny. This also creates lots of problem for us. And we find that ultimately we are going to make it over. So, we cannot be happy. The poet is not happy to see the death because he finds that it is the most realistic reality of the life. We need facing all these things. Instead, the poet gets sorry. It is the difference of just attitude to life. Now, somebody may criticize John Keats for not facing death and troubles of life, as he is just going to fly away, just in the world of forgetfulness, where he can find little bit relaxed of all these things. But here from he is trying to get poetic inspiration. It is all artistic world which is very much woven into that atmosphere of his mind. So it is not simply to fly away from this world. Rather, whatever experience he has gathered of this world, that is a painful one, that is to be shoved into the poetic composition, into the world of forgetfulness and oblivion. Hence, he is going there. And so, in the world, beauty and love never last. Poet wants to fly on the wings of poetry. It is here that romanticism lies. And romanticism is just a way to translate his misery into poetic and artistic composition. And so, the romantic poet is trying to create the very beautiful world out of his imagination, out of his just own crafted world on the basis of wings of imagination. So he needs forgetting everything that is all around. And so Nightingale in his imagination, and we find night is gentle, the moon is the queen of the sky, and it is sitting on her throne surrounded by her stars. These are all beautiful, situations that the poet has just woven into his poem. So the darkness surrounds poet in a spring forest full of grass, shrubbery, and fruit trees, hawthorns, sweet berries, purple, violet under leaves on the forest floor. The musk, rose its luxurious scent, crowded by the humming flies in evening, are all to just conceive when we are into the imaginative world. It is the most beautiful situation and pictures of the spring forest that has been imagined by the poet in the world of forgetfulness. So, listening its song, the poet gets romanticized of death. It is good time to die. Just when we are writing poetry and creating such a beautiful world out of our imagination, now living here and dying here will be the reward of the life to end the pain of human suffering. So let your ecstatic song pour out from your soul. If I died, you would go on singing. Song would be wasted on my ears. So the poet is just trying to say that poet is mortal and he is going to die, but he is trying to write a song that you could sing and to be happy. So the poet wants to make himself just like Nightingale, which has been giving little bit of ecstatic situation to the poet. So he also, through his poem, tries to give little bit pleasure to us, that we can just be happy listening and going through the poem. So it is all immortality of art, that Nightingale is the best artist. So is the poet, because he wants to write the song to be sung. You do not have new generations of people breathing down your neck. So it is what Nightingale has been singing. Generation to generation, it has been singing the same song. He hears the same song sung from many years ago in the time of emperors, unchanged since biblical times, when Ruth, being struck by her mother in law after she herself was with dirt, stood in the fields of corn. The same song is here, the same melody is here, the same beauty is here, and the poet also wants to write down the same song for the generation to come. Same song, charming on the widows of ships and dangerous seas, hard in the far lone lanes where fairies dwell. And it is for the inspiration that the poet tries to do. So poet feels, I am alone again. Goodbye, Nightingale. He is saying goodbye to Nightingale, and because just this is here, everybody has to say finally to the life. He wishes to fly with him, and he says, goodbye, goodbye. Your song grows quiet as you fly past the meadows over the nearby stream and up the hillside. Similarly, his poem will be resounding everywhere. The beauty of his poem will be sung in the time to come. So he wants to fly away with Nightingale from this painful world, leaving behind the beautiful song for the people to sing. It is in the next valley, whole experience real or illusion. No, the Nightingale's song has gone. Am I awake or asleep? The poet is awakened now because he is writing the poem. Now, it was all the experience that he's talking about of the pleasure of the Nightingale. So, it is just like that he wants to be. Before he leaves this world, as the Nightingale has flown to the dark forest, he is also going to fly away from this life, but leaving behind a very beautiful song that he is trying to compose out of his just imaginative faculty. So here we find that it is a very, very positive poem that John Keats has written, and we are really trying to talk about this poem time and again, and we get inspired. Thank you very much.